Hello everyone, and welcome back to WolfQuest 2.7.2. And we are here today with an evil coyote coming for our pups. No, coyote! Oh my goodness. We are here today with a very different scene than... Okay, we gotta get this coyote away. Go away, coyote, go away! With a very different scene than what you guys may remember from last time. So last time we were here, we were actually working with Tumbleweed and Spirit, and they had worked very hard at being able to find their perfect home to raise their litter, with Kuma and Willow helping them out on the periphery, roaming around, helping to establish a new territory safely in Aspen Heights, far away from any of the diseases that are actually affecting some of the elk and some of the coyotes elsewhere. So we're going to have to be able to chase off the coyote, but we won't worry about infection from coyote that we chase. However, we will worry about infection from any of the elk that the coyote may eat. But you're still probably going, Seri, where's Tumbleweed? And you guys, I have some really tragic news. As you guys know, because Tumbleweed had an illness, every day that we played with her, I was rolling a dice in order to see whether or not, oh dear, now that's a puma. This is just getting a little bit excessive. Hello? Not cool. Okay, come on. You can do it, Spirit. You can do this. Get that cougar. All right. Good job, Spirit. Man, he hardly felt that. All right. Get away, Puma. I'm going to assume that Kuma and Willow are like frantically running back to help take care of these little ones now. We actually need to go get them some food, so let's give them a good howl. There you go, little guys. What is Rally, I wonder? This is new. But yeah, so tragically, Tumbleweed actually passed away from her illness while giving birth to the puppies. So now Spirit is pretty much a single wolf dad doing his best. Oh, cool. Doing his best to try to make sure his puppies survive until we can get them to the summer hunting grounds. So we are doing this in a form that you guys have been suggesting for a very long time, where I actually load up the multiplayer and play all by myself in multiplayer, and it allows you to play as a single wolf taking care of your puppies. And so that's how we're doing it. That's why there's a few things that are slightly different than the normal WolfQuest layout. I've never done this before, so it's going to be very interesting. But you guys, I was so sad when I rolled the dice and looked down and it was a death roll, a 1 out of 6 death roll for Tumbleweed. So I decided that she did pass away while she was having the puppies, and I did roll to see if the puppies would have her illness as well. Thankfully, 3 out of the 4 pups are healthy, but there is 1 pup who actually does carry the disease that Tumbleweed had. And so that pup will have a roll every single day to see whether or not they ended up dying from the disease as well. So Spirit knows that his little Soren, one of the boys, he has 2 boys, 2 girls. I'll introduce you to all of them in just a second here. But he knows that Soren is also very sick. And so what you guys are going to have to do today in the straw poll is decide if we should take on the challenge to heal Soren. So Soren is this little guy back here. And don't worry, we'll give him some more varied color coats in the future. And then we have Glacier, a little girl. Tumbler, also a little girl. I randomized the names from the list that you guys gave me. And Ghost, a little boy. So Soren is one of our little boys, and he is actually sick. So every day that we have him that we're not to the summer hunting grounds yet, he does have a 1 in 6 chance of passing away. And every day that we have him and he still has his illness, he does have a chance of passing that illness on to his brothers and sisters. And so I need you guys to decide if we are going to go and cure Soren by taking on the challenge that we would have to go and gather up a special flower that could cure him. And that flower is actually located way over there. So this is the challenge you guys are voting on today. Should we take Spirit and run all the way over to the little mountain over here and go and fetch the flower that can cure the pup? Or should we go ahead and stay at Aspen Heights Den? Or there's an even more heartless option for once. Should we remove Soren and abandon him so that he'll actually pass away somewhere away from the den in order to protect the other 3 puppies? Because there is a chance every day that he could pass on an illness to his brothers and sisters that could potentially kill them. And for every sick pup, that is another opportunity for the illness to be passed on. And if all the puppies are sick, there is a chance that Spirit could actually catch the illness as well. So it could be very challenging. And I know that sounds absolutely heartless, but I thought I would at least put that option out there for you guys to see what you decide. If it's a life and death situation and you have 3 healthy puppies and 1 with an illness that can actually be spread about, should we take the risk, especially now that we have no mate, to run all the way over to the mountain? And then you guys would actually have to vote. So it wouldn't even be, there we go. I don't know what this rally is, but it's kind of cool. Wag your tails. So come on, puppies, wag our tails. Oh, puppies, look at that. Grandpa Atlas is really helping us out here. Dropped a lucky rabbit right in the middle of the den. You can't really get luckier than that. But the thing that I didn't tell you guys about, there we go. Awesome. Strength bonus. I don't even know what that is, but that's really cool. Let's go see if we can do a pinch of hunting, because Spirit is going to have to work frantically. He's a single father now. And we will say that Kuma and Willow, now you guys are probably wondering, how are Kuma and Willow helping? Well, because this is my first time doing this on multiplayer all by myself, I decided that Kuma and Willow are stalking at the periphery. They're chasing away some of the predators. They're taking down some of the elk that we can find as elk carcasses. So I've made the game settings 2 degrees easier. It actually started on Bring It On. That's what Spirit rolled, but I lowered it down to just challenging so that way we can actually hopefully have a chance of getting to the summer hunting ground with at least 1 pup, because we can't use ancestor blessings with this line. So that's that. And then, ooh, actually, is that how I can turn off the, what is that? Yeah, all right. Oh man, actually, I don't want to do that all the way. I didn't know I could turn off like the overlay that intensely, but I need to see how hungry the puppies are and what are, oh, that could be a good challenge, couldn't it? You guys, one day in the future, we should do that. We should make a challenge where I would have to turn off the overlay so I couldn't see how hungry the puppies are and I couldn't see what our territorial marker is at or pack affinity. That would be a really good challenge, actually. So we'll remember that for the future. But yeah, because this is my first time doing it in multiplayer, I did lower the difficulty setting, but I'm saying that's because we do have Kuma and Willow helping out at the periphery. They're sort of stalking along the edges. They might not really, like, well, I imagine, you know, they're at the den when we're away from the den, just like Spirit was at the den when we were away from the den with Kuma and Willow. But I imagine that they kind of are more on the edges than before, because this is a whole new territory. This is not the traditional family den, so there's probably a lot more investigating of the edges that needs to go down, probably a lot more keeping away of strange smells, strange scents, strange wolves. All right, Spirit, we're gonna have to chase this elk down. Can you do it, buddy? All right, come on. It's kind of a little hard without a mate to push you from behind or tackle it now and then, but we've got to do this to feed our puppies. The more elk we can bring down, the better. I did bring down a few of the elk to compensate for the winter elk that we lost when I had to load a new map like this. But I'm so sad about Tumbleweed. She was so strong, but I imagine that she just kind of held out long enough to have her puppies. Oh no, I know you guys well enough to know that you guys are probably going to write like really tragic, beautiful fanfics about that. And I'm probably going to find like fan art inside of my fan mail email that's going to be like Tumbleweed nosing her pups in the winter as it turns to spring and her like spirit floats off. You guys are just so good at tugging at my heartstrings that way. Okay, and let's go back and feed the babies. But I'm glad we were able to hunt down an elk on our own. But yeah, that's how we're kind of compensating, is I did lower down the difficulty level. And then, oh, that's a cougar. Phooey fudge knuckles. And then I am going to say that Kuma has 4 opportunities to, well, and then let me know, I think maybe just lowering the difficulty setting is enough. But I was also thinking, get away from my babies. Maybe that's all I had to do. Oh, geez. All right, little ones, let's go ahead and feed you. Come here, Tumbler. Come here, Ghost. All right, who's hungry? And Soren, oh, Soren's just laying on the ground there. Oh, gosh. But yeah, I am thinking if you think that Kuma and Willow should have at least like 1 special ability, like maybe for each pup, or maybe 4 times, Kuma can prevent a death from a bear. So if we do lose a puppy to a bear, then we could kind of reload. Or 4 times, Willow could prevent a death from drowning, because that would be very specific deaths, and then once like 4 times of that is used up, so 1 for each pup more or less, then like Willow and Kuma can't help anymore. But that may be a little bit overpowered, but let me know what you guys think about that, because I do want the companion wolves to be able to have some element of helping out, and I do want the wolves, like when we're playing as the companion wolf pack right now, but I do want, like when we are playing as the main line, the companion wolves to have a bit more of an effect than just being kind of a role play element. So we'll think about it. And I apologize if I'm not making too much sense. I still have the flu, so I'm really happy that I can even hold together this much cohesion. All right, there we go. And let's go up. Spirit's really good at howling at his pups. I imagine he really appreciates it when Kuma and Willow take over hunting for just a moment, or territory defending. So Spirit can do what he loves the most, which is actually telling stories to his puppies, just like he told stories to Kuma and Willow's pups. He's pretty good at that. He has a very long-winded howl, but he seems to enjoy it. How sad. He didn't even really get to know Tumbleweed that much. It's kind of like they just had this brief... Sweet. It's kind of like they just had this very brief relationship where they met and... Oh, I forgot we had the rabbit there. That's wonderful. I better eat it soon, though, so a coyote doesn't get attracted to it. Alright. But yeah, it's like Spirit and Tumbleweed just had this brief relationship where he kind of came to her in her final days, and she passed on her legacy by having some puppies with him, and then passed away. So sad. Poor Tumbleweed. All right, we're gonna run up this way, see if we can chase down another elk really quickly, and this time I might try to chase the elk towards where we're gonna have to walk to the summer hunting ground. All right. Oh gosh, there's a lot of carcasses. As long as we don't get any coyotes on those carcasses, that's good. Because remember, the coyotes do carry illness, we've decided. Oh, we made some bird really mad. The coyotes are carrying an illness, but we have to... It's not like we can ignore the coyotes when they come for our pups. So, like, it's transmitted, I'll say, by saliva. So if we eat after a coyote, that's when we can contract the illness. But if we have to chase down a coyote and, like, bite it behind the neck very carefully, maybe what I should do is probably make it so that there's a small chance that we can actually get the illness, too, every time we have to fight off a coyote. So what do you guys think about that? We're evolving things. Things are getting more and more difficult in our WolfQuest adventures. I do not make it easy on myself, and I do not make it easy overall, and that makes it so much fun to watch. So you know what? Maybe we won't do the thing where Kuma can chase off bears. I don't know. We'll think about that, because that's very, very specific pup death, and we would only have it a maximum of once per pup. So I think that would be good. All right. But anyway, back to the straw poll you guys need to vote on. There's rumor of a flower that exists over on top of this little mountain over here. And if we run over to the top of that mountain, then we would have another straw poll where you guys would vote on if Spirit, not how many, but if he even found those flowers. And your choice would determine if he finds them and how many flowers he finds. And how many flowers he finds is how many times we can cure the illness. So if he has contracted the illness by that time, then we may, oh, that's a grizzly bear. Then we may have to decide to go ahead and let him use it so he can survive and take care of the pups, because every day that he has the illness is a chance that he could potentially die. Or if we only get, say, 2 flowers and 3 puppies are sick, you guys will have to help us pick which puppies get treated and if we should keep the sick puppy in our pack. Because remember, every day we have a sick puppy with us is another day that they could potentially pass on that illness to their siblings and even to Spirit. So it's quite challenging. It's going to be a bit of a tough one. I'm really interested in seeing like the ethical struggle and the decisions, some of which may be really hardcore and some of which may be really, really kind, that you guys are going to have to make for Spirit's pack. It's not going to be easy. All right, we'll send Spirit up here. Poor Spirit, he has to do it all. Make sure that the territory marker stays up. Keep away the coyotes. Though, again, I'm thinking that Kuma and Willow are roaming along the edges. I could totally see them very happily sniffing along here, adding to the scent marks that are further into the forest, and that would explain where all of the elk carcasses that we stumble on come from. So yeah, because we lowered down the difficulty level once for Kuma and once for Willow, I think that's probably enough, so we probably won't do that thing where they can save the puppies once per pup from bear and from drowning. But let me know what you guys think. I don't want to make it too overpowered. I'm just a little nervous because this is my very first time playing in multiplayer where you don't have a partner wolf to help you out. Though, you know, I guess you could argue sometimes they don't really help very much or very effectively. Alright, so there we go. Alright, and plus Spirit has already suffered so much, so I won't lie, I'm kind of hoping he won't lose his little puppies. I'm hoping that everything will go okay, but Soren is sick. So in the video description, you guys will be able to find the straw poll to decide if we should go and get the flower, if we should take a risk and ignore it for now. Because do you really think the puppies could survive without anyone feeding them all the way until we can get over to the mountain? I don't know if they could. So should we wait? So it'll be to wait, to ignore the journey, to wait for the journey, to go and try to pull the journey off, running all the way over there and then doing the straw poll to see if not like for sure, but if we even find the flower, and then coming back. Yeah, it's going to be some pretty tough choices. Oh, and let's get rid of that coyote. You cannot have my lucky rabbit's foot nor my children, coyote. All right, and I'm excited, you guys, because thanks to you, I got to get this nasty coyote body out of here before they nibble on it. Don't lick that coyote, guys. This is not a toy. This is danger. This is very bad stuff. Bad news bears. Bad news coyote, and he carries a disease, so don't go near him. But yep, it's going to get more and more challenging, and I'm actually really looking forward to including more daily random generators in everything we do in WolfQuest, because I don't know if some of the branches of our WolfQuest family tree are going to survive now, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. Alright, you guys, I'll see you all next time. Good luck choosing what path you think Spirit's puppies should take, and I'll see you then. Bye-bye.